Good day, everybody. Happy Friday. I can hardly believe that we are halfway through June already, and soon it will be the first days of summer. This year has been going by so quickly. I feel like it'll be July before we know it. Plans are underway here, and I am sure that Diane and Judy are also planning fun for us on their channels too, as the three of us get ready for Christmas in July. And of course, the slideshow for the Something New Make-Along will be a bit earlier this month. So if you can take a moment to watch the slideshow to find out the color for this month, details about the Make-Along are in the June 2nd video on this channel, or you can look in the description box below. Please get your Make-Along pictures to me by June 27th. To my email. That way I will have time to get the video ready. There will be a slideshow on the first Tuesday of July on July 1st. Also, June 14th is Worldwide Knit in Public Day, or as I like to call it, Knit or Crochet in Public Day. I'm wondering if any of you will be bringing your stitching out into the wild this weekend. If you would like to send me a picture of your project in your lap or on a table, or comment to say that you will be stitching in public this weekend. Next video, I would like to mention how many of us were stitching in public, or if you would like to email or comment your first name, I can mention that too. I hope that you all had a good week. I'm so happy that you are with me today on June 13th. Warm welcome, everyone. To those who are returning, I'm so happy that you're here, and to those who are new, I hope that you enjoy the visit. Chatting with you here and in the comments is something I really look forward to each week. Today, I will start by talking about what I value and keep in mind each week. Of course, I think of all of you and try to share about patterns that I've tried, ones that you might find interesting to make, that use easy stitches and that won't use too much yarn. Often the patterns will have a free or a paid option available, or sometimes a video tutorial. Also, I keep in mind the people who will be receiving things that I make. Some of the places where I donate specify what they need, or someone who I'm making a gift for chooses the colors to use. Sometimes I'm encouraged to try a pattern because of a suggestion or a picture that I have seen, because of someone else's finished item, or because of an email that I received from you. Whether something is for me, for a gift, or for donations, I am so happy when something works out to be beautiful and useful. And then I keep in mind my own energy, keeping a nice balance. Some weeks I seem to have lots of things accomplished, and other weeks not so much. Have to admit, when the nice weather comes, it is great to have a few smaller projects on the go. It will soon be time for me to start making things for my gift cupboard, and maybe a few hat and scarf sets for donation. Like I did last year, a bit of a change during the summer so that there is still time to knit and crochet, and also time to enjoy my flowers, do some reading on the balcony, and visit with friends. And speaking of friends, I keep in mind all of you, my YouTube friends. It is such a highlight to my week when I find patterns that have been a lot of fun to make, when the yarn and the pattern work really well together, and I get so excited to share about them with you. I would love to hear from all of you by email or in comments. Do you have a gift cupboard, and what kind of items would you make to include there? And of course, will you be knitting in public this weekend? Thank you so much for taking time to pop in. Let's all grab our cups and have a Friday visit and see what finished items and works in progress I have this week. When it comes to finished items, I have one finished item, and works in progress, I have 2 this week. I also have a small yarn acquisition. The yarn acquisition is one that I'm sad about, and more about that later. Actually, one quick moment, I have to pause because I didn't bring the yarn here. I'll just pop over and get it. One quick second while I pause. There, I'm back. Are you still there? I hope it's still recording. Here's my yarns. There we go. And we'll get to that toward the end of the video. Okay. So I'm very excited about one of the works in progress, and I have to start our chat with this one. It is a lap gant blanket that I got a start on last week. This will be my submission for Judy's Creations in Crochet Butterfly of the Month. Judy's butterfly this month is so pretty. For anyone who loves working with blue yarn, this might be your month to make a project. Join in her make-along and send a picture to Judy. This is one of my favorite combinations of colors. The yarns that I used are Ice Yarn Softly Baby in the color turquoise and Lion Brand Pound of Love in the color white. Now here's a peek at the picture for June, and this month I have joined squares designed by Veronika Cromwell from Blue Star Crochet. The pattern is called Circle of Friends Square. There is a free version of this square on her website and a paid version on Ravelry. I adjusted the pattern slightly by adding 2 extra rows onto each square. This blue is a single crochet in the back loop, and this white is also in the back loop. It's a row of half double crochet in the back loop. And I joined the squares using a mattress stitch. Oh, and I used a 5mm hook for the squares. So here's what it looks like so far. And next week, I hope to finish by weaving in the ends and adding on a border. So that's how far I've gotten so far. And this will be lap gant size. It will be 30 inches by 40 inches when it's complete. So for anyone who is new to watching, if you would like to find any patterns mentioned in my videos and any of the creators who I mentioned, there's always information about how to find them in the description box below. For my second work in progress, I've been taking it easy when it comes to knitting this week and sort of easing my way back into things. Let's see. So, right after local yarn shop day, I joined a knit along that's hosted by Jessica Ays from Double the Stitches, and for a couple of weeks this one was on time out. This week I picked it back up and finished a mosaic section on the first half of the shawl. There we go. And I'm on the center panel, and I'm hoping to finish the center panel. Maybe not this weekend. Maybe I'll be able to finish it this coming week. And then I can get a start on the second half of the mosaic. The pattern is called Double Win Mosaic Shawl. There. And it is available for purchase on Ravelry. The yarns that I'm using are Barocco Comfort Sock, and they are in the colors Pearl and Southland. So far, I've used almost a full skein of the Southland and half of one of the pearl. And the needle size I'm using is 3.75 millimeter. So this is a much finer yarn than I'm used to using, so it has been taking me some time. And like I said, I did have it on timeout for a little bit. But it's a fun knit, and this kind of color work is not stranded knitting. It's using one color per row and is using slip stitches to do the color work. And now for my finished item, another blanket. I'm making this one for the book cover of the month Make Along by Crochet with Nonna Rosanna, and I will show a picture of her book up here. I have some of the yarn left over still, so I can make a hat to go with this. It's a baby blanket that I'll donate to Casting Off the Cold. And the yarn I used is King Cole Curiosity Double Knitting in the color Victoria Plum, which is color number 2905. For this, I also used a 5 millimeter hook. And to make this blanket, there was a tutorial called Continuous Crochet Square, Joy's Journey, Continuous Square Blanket. It's all in a nutshell crochet. The pattern is on Ravelry. It's called Joy's Journey, and it's from Look at What I Made. It's a free pattern, and for the border, here we go. I'll show you the blanket first. There. Now, for the border, I chose a different border than was on the original pattern. This is the border I put. For this border, I followed a tutorial called Crochet Granny Blanket Border Tutorial by Meema Makes. Here we go. And I'm looking forward to making a hat in similar colors, and then I'll be donating this one to Casting Off the Cold for a baby blanket. And now for a bit of sad news. Thank you so much to a viewer who let me know in last week's comment about the situation in Listowel at Spinrite. Some of my friends had family members who worked many years there and retired from Spinrite. For information about this, there is a video on Jada and Stitch's channel. Jada also has a link to the news report that explains more about the situation, and Jada has said she will keep us advised about continuing developments about Spinrite. And before I knew that this was happening, I had placed an order for some yarn. This was part of their May big ball sale. And so here's the yarn that I received. I received 2 of their Karen Colorama Halo, and this is in the color Rosemary Frost. Two Colorama Halo in the color Bluestone Frost. Four of Karen Simply Soft Speckle in the color Seashell. 4 of the Speckle Simply Soft Speckle in the color Lipstick. And for Karen Simply Soft, and this is in the color red. It was a huge shock to hear about the closures that are happening there. I'm very sad for the people in that small town who will be affected by these changes to both the retail store and the yarn manufacturing factory. Again, I will be watching for updates from Jada and will let you know if she has future videos about this. A link to Jada's channel will be in the description box. So that's not news that I was expecting in any way. Complete shock. And now just to finish with a little bit of information, a chat about the chapter title for this week. This week's title is Repetition. Now, for me, when I'm learning a new thing, I try not to compare myself to people who have been doing that same thing for a very long time. Instead, I try to compare how I am doing today with how I was doing yesterday or last week or last month. Those first tries at something are like a toddler trying to stand, then taking a few steps, then walking, and I try to be gentle with myself, not expecting myself to run before I have time to practice and build up my muscles. These are my insights after I thought about what Carrie wrote in this week's chapter about repetition. And when it comes to knitting and crochet, repetition is a thing for me when it comes both to learning and to unlearning. Now, an example of unlearning, not too long ago, I'm embarrassed to say, I'm going to show you, this was my preferred crochet position on my couch. There, see? I know, gasp, all the massage therapists and physiotherapists people and chiropractors. I heard you gasp. I heard it. And I will admit it took me some time, some repetition before I unlearned that. Now I sit in a much better chair, not all slouched over on the couch, and I have a lumbar pillow behind me, reminding me to support my back. Definitely unlearning things as well as learning new things. They both take some extra concentration and patience, and yet it is all well worth it. That is what I try to remember, to be patient and gentle, as kind to oneself as one is with other people. Whether things take longer than I thought they might, whether they turn out as I imagine, or whether I decide to try again, the process is what matters most. Eventually it will become what is meant to be. Oh, and if you ever want to find a copy of this book to read Carrie's perspective about these 30 ways to ignite creativity, the little spark, I typed a few places in the description box of where you can find a copy if you would like. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, for sharing in your comments and leaving your thumbs. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy your crochet. Enjoy your knitting. And I hope to see you next video.